fascinating subject because so far we have been we agreed on everything. But if we have to imagine what the future will be for our country, of course there is no single answer. Let's put it like this: it's the euro is like a rock that is tied on the neck of someone that is trying to swim. So as long as there is the rock, you are sure that the guy is going to drown. But without the rock, it's not guaranteed that the guy knows how to swim. And which kind of style he would decide to swim. So it's sort of thinking ahead, and are we able to swim, and which kind of style we have to implement. So everyone has got an own opinion. My opinion is that we have to focus on demography. For Italy, this is the #1 problem that we have to face once we are free from the euro. Because if a society has 1.2 child for each couple, it doesn't need to be a mathematician to understand that that society is going to die. And that's the number. I mean, the figure for Italy is 1.2. And of course, the solution is not the substitution with the population, with someone coming from abroad, because this is an invasion. So, it's not what we're looking for. So, a state that is in full power and can decide which kind of politics to pursue. And mark my word, with your currency, you can do it. Think about Japan. Japan has got something like 200 and something debt on public product. Do you think anyone that is concerned about the Japan debt solvability? It's negative up to 10 years. The yield of Japan bonds is negative up to 10 years of yield. And the public debt is 200 and something of gross domestic product. So the legend that outside the euro, your debt is going to be bought by no one, is a legend. Because even with 200 and something public debt and no particular growth, the yield are below zero. And then they have tsunamis, earthquake, every kind of unlucky situation, I would say, that probably would lead in a deep recession. No, they are using their tool that the monetary sovereignty is allowing them to stay afloat, and they are pretty relaxed on that. But why they don't grow? They don't grow because of the demography. Because it's an aging population, and it's impossible to grow in this kind of environment. So, we are able to use all the tools that we can in order to solve this problem. So I'm thinking about deep prices, rich prices for the couple that wanted to have children, deep help in terms of tax cut, and beyond that, another thing that Italy has to address is the difference between North and South. And we have to be daring. This is valid for everyone. We have to be daring because this crisis told us things that we overlooked. The power of the money, the power of the currency was not in our agenda. We were pouring money in the South without thinking that probably with two different economies, this was not going to work. Exactly like it's not working the Greece packages or whatsoever in order to restore viability of the Greece economy. Italy is like, let's say, France in the north and Greece in the south. There is no, when you look at the statistic of Italy, these numbers apply to no Italian region. There is not a single Italian region for which the statistic or the macro statistic applies. Because either they are too low for the north, either they are too high for the south. So, provided that we will have a white sheet in order to rebuild our future, we can think in the future, once the texture of the economy has been rebuilt, and believe me, this is going to happen. Look, for example, at Argentina. Argentina made the same mistake of Greece, Italy, or something like this. They blocked the exchange. You remember, 1 peso equal $1. Not so wise. Argentina is not US. But it's not because they are less important, they are less, no, they're different. And when you match different economies with a single currency, it's a disaster. Once they move from the parity, peso dollar, the growth that followed was impressive. So I have no doubt that there will be growth after the breakup of the European Monetary Union. But what we have to do after we have rebuilt the texture, we can think, for example, at two currencies for a single nation. How amazing, but it's possible. Because nothing else worked, for example, in order to restore the south of Italy competitivity, is a own currency for the south of Italy, one for the north of Italy, could do the magic. Because of the same reason that could do for Greece, that could do for Italy, or something like that. I bet that very few of you have spent a holiday in Sicily. It's strange, because it should be one of the prime seaside resort of Europe. Is in the south of Italy, great climate, wonderful sea, but it's too expensive. Having before the lira and now the euro brings Sicily out of the market. If ever Sicily would have a money, a currency, adapted to its economy, I'm sure that everyone will find interesting considering Sicily as a destination. Without making unfair competition or something like this, because we have seen that everyone is able to stand on their own feet once they have their own currency. So it's possible to think that the north of Italy will not have unfair advantage in form of industrial prices that they always enjoyed. And of course, because north of Italy, industry had the lira. So it means that all the product of the north of Italy has been sold, when there was the lira, at a discount on the world market. Because instead of having a sort of north of Italy Deutschmark, had the lira. So all the products done in north of Italy were dumping price in the rest of the world. And the south was penalized by the very same reason that the Greece is penalized towards Germany and France it is towards Germany. So it's possible to think that the power of adjusting for economy of the currency could be adapted also for different economic areas, even within a single state. I'm thinking very ahead. It's not something that should be done tomorrow. But probably is a way, this could be a gift of this crisis that teaches us some creative way in order to solve deeply rooted problem of development that has never been solved and never been tackled with the right tools. At the end of the story, I want that all the country and all the region are able to bring up their diversity. We have to cling to our diversity. France should be France, it should not be big Europe or something like this. The world loves France because it's France. And it should be put in the context and with all the way to exploit their strength. Not to melt in something bigger that is untasted. And the same should happen for Italy. Italy has got different. France is a state that is more centralized. Italy is very decentralized, and this should be encouraged. So it's something that I really hope that all of us, once we have taken back the power of the government, will be able to exploit the strength of our countries and not the weakness. And hoping that this crisis teaches us that the future for Europe will be a future of peace between different people.